Greetings and welcome to Crowned Awakening, where we remember, we return, and we rise. I'm Queen Tasha, and I host Wisdom Wednesdays, your weekly oracle reading, where I deliver divine guidance through me to the collective. If you're watching this video, it means that your spirit guides have a message for you. These messages are intended to bring clarity, guidance, and confirmation for your weekly goals. Take what resonates and aligns and leave what doesn't. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to start off with clearing out the space. I'm using my pine smudge stick. I sourced this when I was in Colorado. I made a bunch of sage and then also pine when I found out that pine is really good for wealth and abundance. So I'm always about calling in more wealth and abundance and clearing out my mindset of blocks of scarcity and anything that negates any of that. So clearing out all of that and give you a little something too. And today we are going to be reading from, again, the Goddess Oracle deck, Goddess Power Oracle deck. And last week I did a 1-card pull. And this week I'm going to go for a 2-card pull. We're going to keep gradually bringing this up as I'm calling in those who need the message. And making it absorbable in, content as well, because we got short attention spans out here, and that's unfortunate, but it is reality at the moment. So, for those who don't know me from my other channel, Queen Tasha TV, I have been doing oracle readings. I did oracle readings on that channel for a little bit as I was starting to practice more in delivering messages to the collective versus doing oracle readings for myself and my friends. And I have been reading, I realized the other day that I've been reading oracle cards for almost 10 years now. So that's exciting that I am definitely connected to the divine in this aspect, in channeling the right aligned messages for myself and for others, and also different oracle cards that I use. Right now I'm really connected to this Goddess Power Oracle deck. For a while I was really connected to the, I won't say really connected. I'm connected to all my decks, but I was really consistently reading from my Secret Language of Animals deck, and I just recently shifted to this, and I'm being called to make my own deck. So I'm going to start working on that very soon. First I have to write the booklet, and I'm calling in, obviously, queens, my whole branding and everything, but just I've been being called by all these different, mainly African queens, to tell their story and to deliver their guidance through an oracle deck. So there's going to be a diverse amount of different queens, but with definitely a guided intention toward telling stories of old untold stories of queens just in general, but untold stories of African queens. But that's not going to be the main point, of just African queens. I could do a whole African queen deck. There's enough queens to do probably a whole deck, I'm sure. But yeah, that's where I want to channel guidance from their stories and their messages. So yeah. But anyways, let's get into this reading. Calling in intention. If you don't know about this deck gets pulled in divination of up and down to a empowerment message in the up or upright position and alignment message in the downright. pull. So, like I said, today I'm going to do a 2-part pull, calling in intention and clarity and guidance from spirit guides, ancestors, angels, that have a message for us this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I don't know, that doesn't feel, I'm going to do that. That feels right. And to reshuffle. And then also to cut. I cut. It didn't feel right. We're going to do it like that. Okay, so we are going to take from the top, and I'm going to fold over this one, which is coming in the upright position, and as well as this one. So we have Yi, which is the sun, and she is number 51. And then we have Mama Kila, the moon, and she is in 32. All right, let's see what their message is for today. 51. All right. So they both came in the empowerment message today. We need to be empowered today. This week, we have the new moon in Scorpio tomorrow, and we definitely need some empowerment and encouragement. So here we go. So, when you shine your light into the world, you will... Just wanted to check my mic real quick. Sorry. Something said check your mic. When you shine your light into the world, you will attract various people and experiences that match or challenge your commitment to being empowered. Right now, you are receiving information to know which choice to make, which choice to take, and which person to trust. The Aboriginal Australian sun goddess Yi illuminates your path with her rays and brings clarity as she shows you what you need to know. A bright light also attracts a lot of bugs. So know that you may also attract those who see themselves smaller as a result of your empowerment. This is conditioning that needs to be healed in many people in the world. All you can do is be incandescent and joyful, kind and truthful, and the world will begin to reflect the goodness back to you. The goddess Yi is happy to help you shine. Hey. For me, what's coming through for me is just like, this is your time to shine. You have been either grinding in the dark, in solitude, putting things together, struggling in the darkness, suffering in silence, which many of us do, specifically women. We're programmed to suffer in silence, I believe. And this is your time. This is your time to shine. It's like, we're going into a season where, depending on what hemisphere you're in, and where you are on the planet, but basically a time of hibernation or winter for a lot of us. And in this moment, it's calling for you not to go and hide or continue to hide. This is your breakthrough time. And so I've been feeling called. I've been feeling that call, and it's helping me stay consistent on all of the things that I'm being guided to create, because it can feel really overwhelming, but there is a guided light right now for me, and I think for a lot of people, to walk a path. This is an urgent time for light workers, for star seeds, and people in transformation, within their awakening, to glow and shine in their purpose. Whatever it is that they came here to be a part of the collective rising of this planet. There's an urgent need right now for us to show up and shine, because darkness and fear and all of the fear mongering and all of the distractions definitely want to take that light, or give you a distractionary light of okay, yeah, look over here. And we need to shine brighter than we've ever shined right now to the collective consciousness, specifically the awakening, or the ones who are lost in their awakening and need that guidance. So let's show up. Thank you, Goddess. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but the Sun Goddess. The next card is 32, Mama Kila. I believe. All right, here we go. And she also came in the empowerment message. So, Mama Kila, the Incan goddess of the moon. And we are about to have a new moon tomorrow, so that is just like, see, divine. Presides over the power of cycles and seasons. The moon rules the night sky, returning full 13 times in a year. The ancients marked time by the moon to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to store food, and when to celebrate fertility. Right now, you are invited to see what is familiar and decide whether you need to improve on it or leave things as they are. The answer to your inquiry can be found in the timing of things and the cycle you're in. You can apply the idea of natural cycles to relationships, creative projects, personal growth, and more. If you are honest with yourself, you will see there is no way to control these cycles, only to use the creative energy they offer to help you. If your relationship is unclear yet brimming with potential, you might turn to the new moon energy that shows up in the spring cycle of life. In that case, you need to allow the relationship to grow naturally and be clear in your intentions. When your outer world seems to be slowing down, with obstacles rising up and temporarily blocking your every move, do not put up a resistance. Instead, take advantage of the need to rest and recalibrate your intentions as you wait for the cycle to change. No matter what, like the cycles of the moon, there is divine order in everything that is happening in your life right now. Once you know this, the goddess Mama Kila welcomes you to her divine moon dance of co-creation. What comes through, specifically for women, is tapping into our own cycle, knowing ourselves more, and really understanding what's going on in our body. We have been so disconnected from it because of the patriarchy not wanting us to be educated in knowing and practicing of the celebration of womanhood, wombhood, basically, when you first, get your first period, and then what those cycles, like what is going on in there. I am 42 and I am just now finding out what's going on in there. And I'm tapping into it and getting attuned to the cycles. We have 4 cycles that happen within our 13 cycles of periods every year. And within that, we've only ever known the time or the cycle that we believe. And there are 3 other cycles, or there are 3 other period times. And I think it's important for us to tap into that and learn what's happening in those cycles and how to be resourceful and useful and know when you need to rest and when you have the burst of energy to do and get a lot of things done. And I'm learning about those, that for me, what comes through for Mama Kila, rest, prioritizing rest, and knowing when, I can do a bunch of stuff and have a lot of stuff on my to-do list, and when I need to just just chill. Like right now, I'm trying to batch a lot of content and be consistent with just making content in general, but batch things that I know that I can batch, so that when my slow down cycle comes, I'm not overwhelming myself with tasks that I can't accomplish, and then I get into this whole cycle of doom and analysis paralysis where I can't figure out what I want to do when I really want to do is rest. My body wants to rest, and I'm trying to force it to do a bunch of stuff that is not aligned. So yeah, I mean, not to say you can't be productive during cycles of rest. It's just knowing that that has to be priority. And my body has been telling me through force recently, that, you know, when it's time to take a nap, when it's time to rest. I'm back in a cycle of time where, you know, I am also watching all the things that are going on with my body as I get older, because nobody really discusses any of this stuff. And it's now starting to be discussed as it's happening to me. But, you know, it would have been nice to have a little precursor from our elders that like went through it. About, like, you know, premenopausal and menopausal and all that stuff, and how that, you know, it's been a fear for so long, and I'm learning about how it should be a celebration. Like, our body is finally going to give us a pause at some point, where we can live longer, where we're not going to have to go through, like, there was a cycle a cycle on our procreation and growth cycle through that. You know, it starts whenever it starts for me, it started at like 11. I think I got mine when I was 11 or 12. It was right in that little crease. And then whenever it's going to end, I'm hoping, you know, I'm hoping that it doesn't end early, because it started early, because I'm working on this, you know, time clock right now of like when I want to procreate soon. But then our body gets a break. I remember there was a point in time early on where I was like, once I pop out a baby, I'm going to get a hysterectomy. Forget tying your tubes, because you still get a period. And I was like, I don't want a period anymore. Even though I've never had for the most part, outside of a very bad, birth control phase that I had that made my period very uncomfortable. Outside of that, my normal period for the majority of my life, including now, has been easy breezy. I'm like one of... I don't know what the odds are. It's got to be like 1 in 1,000 or something of women that like don't get cramps and don't get all the PMS symptoms and all that stuff during their period, where they're like down for a week, where they, you know, still have to function, but through pain and agony and a lot of things. Like, I have not had an experience, and I also don't have a bloody. Like, I don't have like a super dense, heavy flow. It's very light and manageable with a little cup that I only have to change, you know, once a day. Like, and it's very minimal. Like, it's, so for me to have that statement of wanting to like get rid of my womb part just so I don't have to have a period is like insane, because there's going to be a time where I'm not going to have a period. And all the wisdom that I've grown up until that point gets stored in my womb, and then I get to live longer because of that. Men don't get any of that, and that's why they die early. We are the wise ones. We are the wisdom carriers. We are the ones who matter on this planet. So we need to be in tune with our highest self, with our internal avatar that is divine. Like this, you know, even though this will die and perish, our soul and energy will continue on. Like, this experience as a human, specifically as a womb-carrying woman or womb-carrying being on this planet, which is labeled as a woman, we are the wisdom carriers. We are the creation portals. We are all of these things that the patriarchy did not want us to know about. Because if we know how powerful we are, and we hold all the power and leadership, and the true leaders of this planet come through the divine womb man. If we knew that, it'd be a completely different existence for all of us. And it's moving and guiding toward that. And that's why, you know, this channel exists, and why I want to continue to move forward with this mission. Like, I am being called from an ancient energy of remembering to guide and teach the women and divine women of this planet to rise up and remember who the fuck we are and take back our power. As the matriarch will rise inevitably. That's how it has always been. The mother has always been. From the planet to the plants to the animals to the humans. The woman has carried all of that. Except for here in the human thing. Boom, it's been blocked. It is inevitable that we will rise again. It's needed. But thank you, Mama Kila, for that message and guidance to deliver to the collective for this cycle that we are in. We are also in the cycle of Mercury retrograde, so which is interesting for me and just different people who how you let that rule you. As so above is so below. However, people fear Mercury retrograde, and I use it as a tool. And some other people who have recognized this use it as a tool to be more self-aware of what's going on during these periods of time. But yeah, I hope that this message resonated with some of you guys, or all of you guys. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I hope you have a fabulous week. Stay royal, stay rising, and live fearlessly free.